Rizal'S Grand Tour 2. Europe with Viola. Rizal received Pucciono's remittance worth 1,000 pesos, which was forwarded by Juan Luna, and he immediately paid Viola 300 pesos, which the latter kindly loaned so that the Noli could be printed. After Noli Me Tangere was published, Rizal decided to visit the important places in Europe, along with Dr. Maximo Viola. The tour begins. On May 11, 1887, Rizal and Viola leave Berlin by train for Dresden. They visited the floral exhibit wherein Rizal studied different varieties of plants. They also visited the Museum of Art in Dresden. Rizal was greatly impressed upon seeing a painting titled Prometheus Bound. While strolling at the floral exposition, they met Dr. Jaeger, and Dr. Jaeger advised them to send a wire first to Blumentritt. Rizal and Viola leave Dresden for Teschen, which is now Dessin, Czechoslovakia. At 1:30 p.m. of May 13, 1887, Rizal and Viola arrived at the station, Leitmeritz, Bohemia, which is now Litoměřice, Czechoslovakia. And there, they met a professor by the name of Ferdinand Blumentritt. Blumentritt helped them to book a room at Hotel Krebs. They stayed there from May 13th to May 16th, 1887. The beautiful memories of Leitmeritz. They enjoyed the warm hospitality of the Blumentritt family. They visit a beer garden together with Blumentritt, where the best beer of Bohemia was served. They attended a meeting at Tourists' Club of Leitmeritz where Blumentritt is the secretary. Rizal painted a portrait of Blumentritt and gave it to him as a gift. He met a Polish scholar named Dr. Carlos Czepelak. Rizal was also introduced to an eminent naturalist named Robert Kluczyk. Rizal and Viola invited Blumentritt to their hotel for a dinner on their last night at Leitmeritz. After leaving Leitmeritz, the two visited the city of Prague. They met Dr. Wilhelm, a professor of natural history at the University of Prague. They visited some notable places in the city: the Tomb of Copernicus, Museum of Natural History, Bacteriological Laboratories, Cave of San Juan, Nepomuceno. On May 19, 1887 in Brunn, Austria, Rizal wrote a letter to Blumentritt and told him that he forgot his diamond stick pin at Hotel Krebs. After that, Rizal and Viola arrived at Vienna, Austria on May 20th. Vienna is also known as Queen of the Danube. In Vienna, they met Nordenfels. Nordenfels is one of the greatest novelists in Europe. After that, Rizal received his lost diamond stickpin from Blumentritt. Back in Vienna, Rizal and Viola stayed at the Hotel Metropole. On May 24, 1887, Rizal wrote a letter to Blumentritt expressing his concern for the illness of Dora. On May 24th, Rizal and Viola rode on a river boat and left Vienna for Linz. While on their journey, they traversed the Danube River, and they witnessed its beautiful sights. They arrived at Linz after their river voyage. They travel overland to Salzburg and to Munich. While in Munich, they tasted the famous beer in Munich, which is reputed to be the best in Germany. They also went to Nuremberg, and they were impressed by the manufacture of dolls. After that, they leave Munich for Ulm, and they visited the cathedral of this city, which was the largest and tallest in all Germany. From Ulm, they traveled to Stuttgart and Baden, and then to Rheinfall. At Rheinfall, they saw the most beautiful waterfall of Europe. From Rheinfall, they crossed the frontier to Schaffhausen, Switzerland, and they stayed there from June 2 to June 3, 1887. And they continued their tour Basel, Bern, and Lausanne. After that, they crossed the foggy Leman Lake to Geneva. This Swiss city is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. On June 19, 1887, Rizal treated Viola to a blowout. It was Rizal's 26th birthday. They spent 15 days in Geneva. On June 23, the two parted ways. Viola went to Barcelona, and Rizal went to Italy. In 1887 Madrid Exposition. Rizal resents exhibition of Igorots. Igorots, who were exhibited in this exposition, became the object of mockery and laughter by the Spanish people. And outraged, Rizal wrote a letter to Blumentritt on June 6, 1887, and Rizal wrote another letter dated June 19, 1887, also commenting about the exposition. Rizal, who is now alone on his tour, he visited Turin, Milan, Venice, and Florence. After that, on June 27, 1887, he reached Rome, which is also called the Eternal City and City of Caesars, because Rizal was amazed by the sights in Rome. Rizal wrote another letter to Blumentritt on the same day expressing his admirations of the city. On June 29, Rizal visited Vatican for the first time. He visited St. Peter's Church and St. Peter Square. Rizal returned to his hotel and wrote a letter to Blumentritt about his explorations in Vatican. After a week in Rome, he prepared to return to the Philippines. The end.